Okay, hi guys. We are back. We're gonna do something casual, something very important to the culture, which is basketball. So, a sports episode. I have two guests on here who've never been on the panel, but I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. This is two wonderful people, my dad and my favorite teacher, Mr. Julian. So, y'all go ahead and say hi.
Hey, what's going on there, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Hey, I'm honored to be on here with Mr. Julian, man. What I'm saying? He a many faceted, talented young man that he's done many things. I've seen him in fashion shows. I've seen him, all across New York doing good things for good people. And I appreciate him taking the time out to come in and let's talk, what we all like to talk about, talk sports.
Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate that. Yeah, feeling is mutual. I'm really excited to do this. Dana's been trying to get us to have this episode for some time, so thank you, Dana, for putting
Of
these two
course.
brothers together.
Yes.
Um, I'm also a big sports fanatic, all things New York, Yankees, Knicks, so yeah. So I'm ready for this and looking forward.
All right, well, just start a recap, man. Big thing just happened with the Super Bowl, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Neither of the many New York teams made it, and neither did my team make it from San Francisco. We had a bad year, injuries and all like that. But the team that's the best in our division did win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
just give me a quick thoughts about this past NFL season. How do you think it went? You don't have to talk specifically much about the Giants because too much ain't to talk about, or the Jets. I mean, but you can just speak on how football, was very exhilarating and enjoyable this year.
Yeah, we can definitely start off. Yeah, this is perfect way to start off with some football. Interestingly enough, when I was a youngin and didn't know better, I was also a 49ers
You
fan.
think you didn't know better? Like somebody
you
raised
know,
you right. I knew somebody raised you right. I mean, you took time
you
to
know,
go off the path and everything and end up in New York
yeah.
again. But they tried to put you right though. I got you though.
Yeah, so interestingly, my uncle introduced me to all things
Oh,
American sports, so football, basketball. So growing up, he was a big Niners fan. So I know the history of Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and Roger Craig and all them boys.
yeah.
They still hold a certain place in my heart because that was like my first team. But in terms of this season, it was a pretty good season. I mean, I think the best team won. I think Seattle was arguably the best team in the league this year. So once again, it's also there's always a New York connection though, right? Because the quarterback was a former Jets quarterback. So I always like to joke around and say like the Jets, we just like to groom quarterbacks to go off and do better, bigger and better things in other places. But yeah, I can't be mad at Seattle because they were definitely the better team this year.
I will have to agree with that like 75%. They defense
Okay.
was great. Sam Darnold, I mean, you never know what you get with him. You know what I'm saying? He played good in Minnesota last year and he had
Right.
good time, but he's still Sam Darnold, you know what I'm saying? And he got that jet trauma. You know what I'm saying? So, that's always going to come up and bite you from time to time. But I think I just think the way they should have schemed the plan against them, the only receiver they had was Jackson and Jibba. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you couldn't take that one guy away and make somebody else beat you. And that's one thing a Belichick defense or somebody like the example will take your best option away and make somebody else show up. And that's what they
Hmm.
didn't do. You know what I'm saying? All
Right.
year long. And they rode the momentum and Walker showed up in the Super Bowl and Jigba didn't do much, but it was by then
Hmm.
saying the momentum and the force of which was the defense carried through the whole team and everything. And I don't
Hmm.
know what Drake May. He a young quarterback and his first real big time postseason experience, and he wasn't ready. You know what I'm saying? The game plan. I don't know what Josh McDaniels was bad on the game planning. Their line couldn't block,
Hmm.
and Seattle took advantage of that because Drake May
Hmm.
turf all through whole playoffs. I don't know how they made it that far, but hats off to a
Right.
good season. You know what I'm saying? Once again, see some bright spots in the league. Your Giants might have a couple good players coming up if they can learn how to protect themselves from injury. You know what I'm saying? For real. I mean, our dark, I mean, you just can't tuck it and run. This ain't college no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's
Right.
grown men
Right.
out there that's gonna knock your head off every time they get a chance to legally. You know what I'm saying? And them hits start adding up, and you just the first. He'll learn better. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully he
He,
will learn beber because you know what I'm saying that your body's gonna make you learn better, or you ain't gonna be able to do the game. So I
nah,
mean,
definitely.
yeah, I was happy Aaron Glenn didn't get fired because what I'm saying, this is his first season as the Jets coach, but they got a lot of work to do still. I hope they get better. I really don't hope they
Hmm.
get better. I mean, just I'm hoping success for the brother to be, what I'm saying, one of the African American coaches in the league. Hoping successful for him,
Hmm.
but he's in
Hmm.
a real uphill battle with the roster, and
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
culture and the owner itself. We ain't gonna talk about Woody how off he is,
Right.
Johnson. But it's been some good things. Like my team, we had a good
Hmm.
year, overachieving year, but I never really expected too much because we so injured. We lost so much on
Right.
defense
Right.
in office all year long. I was just happy that we made it and won a playoff game. We beat the bum Eagles, so I mean that was always good. You know what I'm saying? That's
It's
always
always a victory. It's always a
oh,
good
oh,
thing to beat the
oh,
Eagle.
always good to beat
Um,
the Eagles, especially when they thought they was better than what they really was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but to your point, like going back to Seattle, I think history though has shown that if you have a good defense, solid defense, sometimes even if you have, like a mid quarterback, mediocre, because Sam Darnold, he's solid. He's not the,
Absolutely.
clearly like the best player in the league or anything like that. Because we've seen throughout, like the history of the Super Bowl, there have been times where teams have caught fire with that same formula where you have really good defense and just good enough offense. So if you remember, there was a year
Baltimore Ravens.
that the
The Ravens.
Ravens won it.
Mm-hmm.
The year the Ravens, who was the
Trent
quarterback?
Dilfer. You know what I'm saying?
Trent
So
Dilfer,
you don't
right?
even know, right?
Right. So, but they had like an outstanding defense.
Absolutely.
And then there was also another year that was similar. I think maybe a couple years before, the Bucks also won. I forget who the quarterback was, but they
Come
just
on,
like had a
like Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying?
no, 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 no. This is around the time. This was actually maybe before the
Okay,
Ravens
you're talking about when they had when they beat the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? We had Rich
when
Gannon
they
Raiders. They had a great
right.
defense and a
They had a
decent
great
quarterback. But that,
defense.
that wasn't
Yeah,
John Gruden left the Raiders and went to coach
right.
Tampa, so they had an unfair advantage with having their coach there. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
you got a game manager, a good defense, and a solid plan.
Yeah,
You can catch fire at the right time. It's the same thing. Sam Darnold, like you said, beat the NFL MVP in the Rams quarterback Matt Stafford. You know what I'm saying? Because of the team.
exactly.
Because of the team
E-
and solid play. Don't turn the ball over, and just make basic plays. And your team, which is the whole team, they had special team scores and defensive scores. You know what I'm saying? It'll bring you up. So he did what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, so like I said, I wasn't sad, like or angry about like this year's results because like I said, I think hats off to Seattle, like they definitely got that. But moving forward, I'm hoping, like my Giants get better. Like you said, I think we got one with Jackson Dart, but he
And
has to learn.
Scatterby too.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Oh
woo.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then
And and,
what's the
and we'll
name?
get our,
What's the
our
wide
receiver
receiver name?
back.
What's the right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
neighbors. Neighbors come
yeah.
back. Neighbors come
Yeah,
back.
once we get him to come back, but we need some more protection around
Absolutely.
Dart. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
hopefully in the draft we'll pick up, some offensive linemen, to give him some better protection. But things are looking up for us. I think we're gonna have a pretty good season next
And
year.
then real talk, y'all really made a mistake by firing Dabo though. You know what I'm saying?
You think so?
I think so because he is a great coordinator and he was learning to become a head coach. So you see,
Mm-hmm.
he got another job right now. I forgot who picked him up, but they picked him up as soon as he was available. So he's a hell of a
Hmm.
coordinator. He just got to learn how to become a complete head coach, and you do that, saying by going through these rough times and getting some more better
Yeah,
staff personnel. It's a whole team concept because, like you said,
yeah,
you got an alpha when you got a number one wide receiver maybe. Then you got what I'm saying Scatterbill is a better round. He's like Mike Allstott 2000. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
2.0, the new version. And Dart can be good with some protection. And then, your
Right.
tight end Johnson's pretty decent. And the other receiving core they had to play without neighbors got better. Wandale
Hmm.
Robinson was becoming more of a gadget guy to be a real slot receiver. So, I mean, the
Hmm.
weapons are there. You just need the right play calling. But you got to have also
Right.
personnel to block for the plays to work. And I think Dabo, he's a quarterback guru. He's successful quarterbacks have and people that came up under his tutelage that won MVP
Right.
and Super Bowl. So I think they made a
Hmm.
mistake in firing them, but we'll see.
Mm.
We'll see.
Well, so I'm gonna agree to disagree. I think Dabo definitely they gave him enough of a rope, to kind of like figure it out, but he's always underachieved. So,
Okay.
like there were definitely a couple of factors with some injuries and things like that. But when you look at our record over the past, however many years he was the head coach, right? Like it doesn't say much. But then I think the other point though is that sometimes like making that leap, like you said, from offensive or defensive coordinator to head coach, is not easy. So I think there are some people that I think are suited more at being more of an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and it does take like another like level, another intangible, like to
True.
be a head coach. Because I just think about other guys that have had an opportunity, or even like Josh McDaniels, like
Josh McDaniels one up exactly. He's a great
he's had a
coordinator,
couple,
terrible
yeah,
head coach. If you remember,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go old school for y'all youngers. You don't know Norv Turner. He used to be
I remember North Turner
you
for
remember
Washington Redskins and
and the Cowboys. You know,
Dallas.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he got Super Bowl rings as a coordinator. No
Absolutely.
success as a head coach. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Mike McDaniel
Mm-hmm.
down in Miami, he just got fired.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hell of an offensive coordinator. He about to go
Yeah.
call some plays and do it right for, you know what I'm saying, after he
Right.
picked them up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, some guys are just not that personnel top manager guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
It's okay to be
And that's fine.
what you do, right.
And that's fine because I mean, look at what he's done, like with going back to New England,
Hmm.
and like he's helped to develop, and that was always his thing, right? Like he's
Absolutely. Yep.
he's an offensive mind. I didn't think New England was going to be this good,
Right.
like this year with May, but I think that speaks to like if you have the right type of personnel that can help, like mature, like help a quarterback mature and like game plan. Because to me, I thought Drake May was actually overrated, but he proved me wrong. Like he's
Well, yeah,
actually.
he just got and think about it. What he got to work with. In New England, they don't have no high profile receivers or like spend a lot of money in the
Mhm.
free agency. He working with an old Stephon Diggs. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 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 right,
His leading receiver or second leading receiver was Hunter Henry, the tight end. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So got to think about what he and young unproven guys like Booty, and so that goes to show you the development of the quarterback coach, offensive coordinator on him and make him see
Yeah,
better. Now, if they go out and trade for like AJ Brown or somebody big to come in there, who knows
right.
what the ceiling could be for Drake May? But, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. All right, well, that was good, man. I mean, we got to recap the NFL. Looking for the combines going on this week. Y'all go there,
Hmm.
watch some of the college boys that come up. You're gonna see some freakish athletes. You're gonna see some the next year's wave talent coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Hey, briefly,
Hmm.
I don't know you. I know you a sports guy, and but New York being a pro sports area, I'm from the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
I follow college good. I'm on college football, college basketball
Okay.
too. So that national championship team from Indiana that beat Miami in his last championship game also
Hmm.
things here. You will see a lot of talent coming from those ranks coming into the NFL. So, you know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on the Midwest and the rest of the country. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't always pro East and
Right, right, right.
They coming. Them
Oh no,
boys
especially with college football. I mean, a lot of that is dominated, SEC, the
SEC.
Midwestern leagues,
Big league.
things
Yep.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no doubt about that. Like that's something that like I need to watch more of. I watch actually a lot more college basketball, not as much as college football,
Yes, sir.
but definitely I'm a big tournament. As a matter of fact, like
Hey, we're gonna have to put
March
together a
Madness
bracket.
is my favorite.
Let's put together a bracket. That way we can
Oh yeah, I mean I've been doing
invite everybody to a
brackets.
group and they want to get in and see what they can do.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been doing brackets for years,
Oh,
Like I always run a bracket. Like
well, put
I'm
me
a
in. Put me in,
yeah.
coach. I'm ready.
Say less. Got you, brother.
Absolutely, you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna move on to basketball now. I mean, because now
Okay.
it is officially basketball season. Shout out to the Olympics. I mean, really good. The hockey did their thing. You know what I'm saying. If you
Hmm.
the gold medal, I
Men
ain't
and women.
lose on the luge and the what's the name, the bobsleigh do too much. Speed
Hmm.
skating was down this year. You know what I'm saying. But we did what we did on the hockey thing. Winter Olympics has came and gone. Let's done
Hmm.
with that. It's time to hoop. Basketball season. We got like 25
Oh,
games left in the NBA before we get to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying.
oh yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
saying top 6 spots, and then you got the play-in tournament coming up. So
Mm.
we're gonna start off with the East. You know what I'm saying? What your outlook
Hmm.
is for the NBA playoff contenders in the East?
Well, I mean, you got to give your props to Detroit. I mean, they've just been balling. They've been the best team in the league, arguably all season in the East. Cade Cunningham has proven to be a dog. Like he's
MVP.
that dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think the Knicks got a chance because if you just go back to last season, if you remember last season, who was the top team in the East last year?
Indiana.
Indiana, Cleveland. I think Cleveland might have had the best record
Well,
in
come
the
on, you
East.
can't count. You really know. Till Cleveland do it in the postseason, you really can't even consider
Right.
it.
No, my point is though, I think a lot of people have been down on the Knicks, and at first, before the season, they were saying, "Oh, the Knicks are going to come out the East. They have the best team." But then Detroit just came out, and now people are kind of like taking a step back from the Knicks and being like, "Oh, it's Detroit's." East to lose. But what I'm saying is that regular season is one thing. Let's get into the postseason. And I think once we get into the postseason, the Knicks, we picked up a lot of key guys. We got Alvarado. We got some other defensive players to surround, right? Because we had some defensive gaps. We know that JD is
Did you
not
just
like
say
a great
avocado?
defender.
That's who you got. You say avocado from New Orleans.
Uh, Grand Theft Alvarado, you know?
I grow like avocados. Man, come on, man. What are you gonna do, man? Come on, what are you gonna? I mean, I understand. But he's a good key member. I got it. I mean, what y'all
Hmm.
salary cap limitation? That was a good pickup. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely gonna take some minutes from Jordan Clarkson if he's still on the team.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I get that was a good pickup because I do like the Villanova the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I like the
Hmm.
Villanova
Hmm.
Knicks. The group of boys, they play unselfish. They play the right basketball the right way.
Hmm.
I don't trust Cat. You know what I'm saying? And Brunson is still too little on the defensive end. So
Hmm.
that's going to be our downfalls. And you see how Cade is a big guard and he going to sun Brunson.
Right.
So that's why he don't ever guard him. But if they, they do pick and roll switches, they going to put him in
Yeah.
that match and he going to be disadvantaged. Same thing I've always said about Steph Curry. Hell of a shooter, offensive minded, but you put him in a screen and roll and you can score on Steph Curry all day. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
Well, I
dealing
think
with
that's
that.
what we miss. I think that's where we miss Tibbs. So even though we got rid of Tibbs,
Ooh, why
to
y'all do
get
that?
Mike
I wasn't
Brown,
even gonna mention that. Was
you
he
know what I'm
was he that
saying?
bad? I know
I
he didn't.
think
He played 4 people.
I,
That's it. But still.
I think this is just like a league now of what have you done for me lately. So it's kind of
Ooh,
like since they didn't go to the finals,
right.
unfortunately, like that's what happens to these guys. I wouldn't have gotten rid of him,
Okay.
but the one big knock though, I think which was a serious knock is that he doesn't play
He
anybody.
doesn't
Like
play
he
the play.
wears
He
he
just
wears these guys
doing the
down.
rotation. Yeah, I got you. But
You
you
know
know
what
what I
I'm
mean? If
saying?
you could change that philosophy of you
Hmm.
could change that over the offseason. You ain't got to fire the guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
But
mean, you can
but
make him mandate that he
he's
plays more
he's
people.
had an opportunity and he's
Yeah.
continued to stick to it. And I mean, like I understand in the playoffs, like historically though, teams will like
It's short
shrink
of
their
rotation.
their
It's
their
short.
bench. They'll get down to like 7, 8 players. But he was doing the same thing during the season,
Fact.
wearing these
He,
guys
he does
down.
burn his
You
prayers out. He
can't
does
you
burn
you
his prayers.
can't play 5 guys like in an 82 game season, man. Like you can't do it. But like going back to what you were saying though, like yes, there's been some knocks on Cat. People say that he's sore. People say that JB is too small, but every time somebody like tries to take a knock at JB just continues to prove people wrong and prove that like he's that guy. I'm a believer in Jalen Brunson now. I think he
I,
can take us to the promised land.
I mean, that's the Nick. Sir, I hear your analysis. You're 100% New York Knicks. I got it. So I'll take that in consideration. But you gotta understand, some people are Robin and they're not Batman. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Now, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. Jalen Brunson is an All-Star, All NBA level player. Don't get me wrong,
Mhm.
but he only gonna take you so far, and
Mhm.
you need a supporting class and somebody to help
Mhm.
elevate and do that. Cat's not that guy, you know what I'm saying? To
Mhm.
do that, I like Cat, I cheer for him to win, but he's,
Mhm.
he lets you down from time to time, because of his play. Now,
Mhm.
like I said, Jalen Brunson is an All NBA player, but he's not Batman. You know what I'm saying? Well,
Mhm.
in this case, he
Mhm.
got to be Superman to get the Knicks there
Mhm.
because
Mhm. Mhm.
he has the
Mhm.
supporting cast. Like I love Mikal Bridges, but he disappears from time to time. You know what
He
I'm saying?
does. He does.
Josh Hart is a limited player. Heart and
Mhm.
soul, well, rebound, he'll hustle, he'll make the right basketball play, but he's a
Mhm.
limited player than what you gonna get from him. OG
Mhm.
Anunoby, that's the guy right there. You need to
Mhm.
tap. He need to tap in and really come
Mhm.
out, blossom up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
And take that number 2 away from Cat.
Yeah.
Make Cat the third option. But he hasn't over the years. He hasn't even done it. Even in Toronto, he hasn't even done that. So you know what I'm saying. With that being said, Brunson is not that guy. Is not Superman to lift the whole team. He's,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The same thing I used to say with Jimmy Butler. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Same thing I used to say about Jimmy Butler. He is Robin. He's not Batman. If he's the best player on your team, you're not
Mhm.
winning the
Mhm.
championship. Now, that's
Right.
how I feel about Brunson. If he's the best player on your team, you're not winning the championship. He could be the
So
number 2.
that's
He could be the
Yeah.
2.
So I used to have that same mentality too, and I think like that's what Jalen Brunson feeds off of. So as
Ooh.
long as people are gonna continue to doubt him, because I mean I was even one of those players too when the Knicks picked him up in the offseason and gave him a 4-year, $100 million
Now,
contract.
the
And I'm
money is,
like,
don't even worry about the money. But yeah,
and I'm like, wait, why are we paying this? Like, he's not even 6 foot. Why are we paying this
but
guy
not every
all of this
6 foot.
money? You know what I'm saying? Why are we paying this dude all of this money to be the
Right.
guy
He's
in
jumping off
New
the bar
York?
stool. Why are we giving him all this
You
money?
know,
I got you.
but let's take a look. I mean, he was a winner in high school. He was a winner in college. After coming out of Villanova and winning the chip down there. He was I think taken in the end of the first round, maybe the second round. So
Mhm.
people were like, yeah, okay, like you were a great college player, but it's not going to translate. And then he comes into Dallas when Luka gets hurt. He was the dude, right? So that led him to the Knicks taking a chance on him. So I'm all in. Like I'm all in with Jalen Brunson. I think that he can lead us to the finals coming out of the East.
I understand. I agree. He's gonna make a great documentary story. It said, but it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen. I'm rooting unless y'all bring in another superstar that he could lead and take over with Brunson that doesn't, because Brunson gets fired, he gets injured, his his ankles is off. I mean, he's doing a lot, especially for physically. And then he had a sporting career, like you say, he won in high school. He won in Villanova. Villanova was a good machine. Jay Wright had that whole program good. He brought his boys with him. You know what I'm saying? But this is a 7-game series. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have time to go over film, see what you do and what you don't do. They're gonna put you in situations where you don't flourish.
Yeah.
You got to be able to, you know what I'm saying, to overcome all that. And I just don't think he does.
I think
he's robbed.
I just think the Knicks have enough in their roster. So like you said, sometimes, Cat, he doesn't play big, or, like he doesn't step up. But I think as long as we can get enough from Cat, if he can give us 20 points, 9, 10 rebounds. OG is a stud on both ends, like offensively, defensively.
Agreed.
Mikal Bridges, even though like he, sometimes he recedes a little bit, but
he played hard.
He's big. He was big for us. Like he plays, defense. Like I said, we picked up a couple of pieces. Even Shamit's been really big for us. We can hit the three.
Well. Yes, absolutely.
We can hit the three. We move the ball well. Like we just got to be more consistent defensively. I think that's where Tibbs had us, playing a little bit better. Like offense now, I don't think is as much as a problem. It's on the defensive end. And so I think the biggest hurdle for us is going to be Detroit. And I think with Detroit, what's interesting enough, Detroit, they play lights out defense too. And we only really need to stop one person. And I'm not saying that that's easy, but after Cade, who is there? So I think once we figure it out,
that's the beauty of Detroit right there, right? Detroit playing with people that you're gonna play up at the local gym. He playing with Reed, he playing with Rail, Jones, Jackson, Williams, but just regular Joes. But everybody has they role and they set. They got length on the wings. You know what I'm saying? They can hit the open shot. Levert hit the open shot. And the case got to be the facility which he's doing. So in saying that, I do agree. Detroit looks like a hurdle, but you just can't forget about them Green Boys over there in Boston. You know what I'm saying? The way that they snuck Vujacic out of Chicago and put him on the team, got rid of Porzingis. That's an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? The way Jaylen Brown is now the number one option with Derek White doing Derek White things, and they got the bench mob coming in, hitting open three, Hauser, Pritchard, and you know what I'm saying, other people I don't even know, just some random shooters off the bench that hit the open shot that they're going to get because of the penetration and the play Jaylen Brown and the potential for Casper. I call him Casper because he faded sometime in the playoffs, but Jason Tatum coming back and
he's not coming back this year.
Yes, he's possible he can come back during the playoffs.
There's no way you're gonna come back from what did he ruptured his Achilles?
Achilles, right? And he's already doing workouts. You know what I'm saying? 1-on-1. He's at the G League right now doing contact workouts.
I'm not as worried as about Boston.
Oh, not as Boston. Okay.
For that reason,
we dismissed Cleveland with James Harden though. How do they look now with James Harden? They look different now.
I'm not sold. I actually think Cleveland they taken a step back. Like I think when they had Darius Garland, I didn't think it was going to work with two small guards in the backcourt, but I thought Darius Garland and Mitchell, I thought it was a pretty good pairing. I think they had a better backcourt there. I love James Harden. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, but his best years are behind him.
Right, but you know what he's brought in for? To run the offense, facilitate. He'll catch he still can score if he have to, but he's there to run the offense so Donovan doesn't have to create his own shot. Oh wait, because Donovan elevates his game in the playoff. He just can't elevate his team. So you know what I'm saying? He's there to, to help develop the team, throw lobs to Jared Allen, and get Evan Mobley involved and keep the flow going. So they're gonna be formidable, but I'm just not sold till they do it though.
Yeah, I don't know who's in the front office of Cleveland, though. I just don't see, why you get rid of a guy. I don't think Darius Garland is even 30 yet.
No, he's not. He's not. He's like 25, 26.
So you give away arguably your second, third best player for a 30-plus-year-old guy that maybe has another year, maybe two in the league.
Well, he's a free agent. He's expiring contract. So, you know what I'm saying? They're not tied into him past this year. So, if he play good in the playoffs, they'll resign him. But if he doesn't, okay, no harm, no foul. Garland hasn't ascended just yet to that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just that all of the teams that I thought would give the Knicks a fighting chance, that they just suffered too many devastating injuries. So you got Boston that has Tatum out with, you know what I'm saying, like a season, and then even if he does come back, even if Tatum does come back, I'm not sure what he can give you, at this point, coming back after a major injury like that. And then I thought Indiana, once again, another interesting team. But yeah, so like their top player. So they lost Halliburton, but there was another team that I think if anyone can contend
It was
with the
Indiana.
Knicks or would give the Knicks problems, it would be Indiana. But then well, Halliburton got hurt, and then they traded
Miles Turner.
um
Miles Turner.
Miles Turner.
Yeah.
So I think like they took a couple steps back. So that's why a lot of people just automatically assumed, okay, so Cleveland is taking a step back. Indiana had some injuries, Boston had some injuries. So automatically people were like, okay, the Knicks. But then
Yeah.
Detroit comes out and they're like, no, we got something to say too. But I still think the playoffs is a different beast from the regular season.
Absolutely correct, sir.
Let's see what happens once we get, you know what I'm saying, to playoffs, right? The Knicks, they're tested now. Like the past 2-3 seasons, they've made deep runs into the playoffs. I know right now Detroit is a better team, at least on paper, but I think that, once we get to the playoffs and we get Cade Cunningham, we get the ball out of his hand, I think the Knicks are gonna have something to say.
Okay, I mean, you see in orange and blue skies like Stephen A. But, I at a minimum, I see Detroit versus New York in the conference finals with Detroit, maybe going on. Yeah, Boston has a step back, but they're still dangerous especially if they get hot shooting. And then nobody else is, ain't really it's hurt themselves. Miami doesn't have enough; they're not healthy enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Cleveland just hasn't done it. So it is the Knicks. It's the Knicks and Detroit coming out the East. All right, I get that.
What about the West? What are your thoughts about what's going on out west?
I'm a diehard Laker fan. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I know we don't play defense. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
y'all,
gets
y'all play less defense than us.
look. Everybody get open shots when you play against us. For your daily fantasy players, if they're playing against the Lakers, put them in your lineup because they're gonna get their shots off. We don't play no defense. So with that, OKC is still on here. Even though Shea ain't playing, he's resting. He's hurt. Jay Will ain't playing. They hurting, but they still got 40 wins. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to look at the Spurs, but the Spurs handled them earlier, but when neither team was fully healthy. So I mean, it's gonna come down to them, the Spurs. And even though Houston just blown a lead against y'all, you know what I'm saying, the fourth quarter, that's something to deal with. And if Kevin Durant is making shots, what hurts Houston is they don't have a point guard. They don't have somebody that can run the offense, and Kevin has to do everything to create his own shots. That's what a point guard does. It gets you into your rhythm, take the shot making, you know what I'm saying, and keep it off the phone. But Sagoon down low, you know what I'm saying, and their size is unheard of. You know what I'm saying? They front line 6'10, 6'10, 7'0. Then you got Steven Adams when he get healthy coming back, or unless he's not coming back. So I mean, Houston is something to do, but I think it's going to come down to the Spurs and OKC. Shout out to Denver. I mean, Jokic is the number one player in the league, you know what I'm saying, no doubt about it. But, him and Jamal ain't got enough. Unless Eric Gordon is stay hurt, and then you still need that bench. You need more players to get it done for them cold spells and them nights that your superstars ain't on. So it's going to come down to OKC, Spurs in the final in the West. And until somebody upsets OKC, I'm gonna go with them. You know, so I know I like Fox. Wemby's a force, but he still got to learn how to win. Man, Castle's a baller. You know what I'm saying?
He's tough.
Oh, he's a baller. And then Vassell, you know what I'm saying, hit the open. I mean, they're a scary dynasty building team going up, but they got to go against the dynasty team that's going on right now in OKC. You know
right. Yeah. I mean, I think San Antonio is scary though, especially because the way they've also just beat OKC. Yeah. I mean, I know there was some injuries, but it was just too decisive. Like, you know what I'm saying? and so once again, so for the same reason why I'm saying that people shouldn't go all in on Detroit just yet, because the playoffs is different. I'm gonna give OKC some grace too, and they're the defending champs. They're the defending champs, right?
Like quick pivot, real quick. What you think about this year All-Star Game format? I kind of liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Like some people were still complaining, but it made it more competitive. Like I actually watched it. I can't remember the last time I actually watched an All-Star game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We watched 3-point contests, dunk, all that stuff. But I actually, in the Rising Stars, you definitely want to see the young kids play. But they actually format. I mean, if they have it a little, I wouldn't mind if they had another third or fourth team in there somehow. How they try to put the European stars. They had the old heads versus the U heads. That drives a little competitive blood on the court because
it does.
Kawhi and them was giving it to them. You know what I'm saying? They did make it to the final game, but they just ran out of gas because they old.
Man, Kawhi was balling.
Goodness, I was like,
he was balling, man. That was like old Kawhi. That was San Antonio, Toronto Kawhi.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like he was torching them. He was in his home court doing his thing. Now just imagine if the old head team had Curry on it. You know what I'm saying? How that would have been. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they still got to get back to back and warm them knees up for the young boys. Them young boys was hungry though, because they don't like being son. Nobody want to be son, and you supposed to be right. Like Ant-Man said, I try to take their head off every time because I want to be the best. And that's the mentality you're supposed to have. And the old guys got to defend that. I kind of like the format. You know, it's better.
I liked it. The only thing that I would add to it, I think they basically just did a quarter. quarter, right? They just
Right.
played a quarter, like
Yeah.
12 minutes.
10 minutes.
I think I might extend it, maybe do 15, 20 minutes and do
Okay.
like
We'll
just a
do a
little bit
half.
longer.
Yep.
Yeah, do like
Do a
10, do
half.
like 10-minute halves or something like
I
that.
can respect that, but I like that format, and it's almost like pickup ball. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
almost like,
it was.
that
It's pickup. Yeah.
that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's what drew me back into actually watching it, because I want to
Yeah,
see how it's the schoolyard boy gonna come out these professionals, and
exactly.
the schoolyard
As,
boy came out. You know what I'm saying?
as a matter of fact, I think it was like knockouts, right? Like it's just like
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Almost like that. Yup. You know what I'm saying? You stay on the court almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's no opportunity to kind of like fall back because it's like because of the old format and players didn't want to play, they was like they weren't playing this hard and then it's 4 quarters, but you don't have enough time, to just like chill and relax. It's only 12 minutes, so you got a ball.
And you see that, right? What they need to do with the All-Star game, let's what they do with the NBA Cup. They need to put that money in there and then watch that. Watch how hard they go. The NBA Cup
Absolutely.
money, them boys was playing for that money, dog.
They were.
You know what? Because they say even the bench player get that money. You know what I'm saying? So the dudes that set the screens for you and practicing, taking charges, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You playing hard for them because that's
Yeah.
way more than they ever, their whole salary.
Exactly. A lot of those guys are not getting max salary. I mean, they still
Exactly.
making good money, right?
Right.
But they're not making, you
Facts.
know what I'm saying, like top level salary. So
Facts on
yeah.
that. Yeah, man. So that's the most definitely. So just as a recap, I get it. Me and you both got the OKC and the Spurs going out the West, and you got the Knicks and the Detroit. You saying the Knicks only gonna get through. I'm saying Detroit gonna hold serve. And but you said this yourself. With everybody being injured and everybody being hurt down this year, this is the year for the Knicks to do it because
Absolutely.
it's not going to
Absolutely.
be easier ride going forward. You know what I'm saying? When
No,
everybody come back, okay.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know they ain't gonna do it because I ain't been alive for a good minute and I ain't seen no championship in New York. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
it's been a minute. It was
Yeah,
before I was
exactly.
born. I
Before
mean,
I was born, you know what I'm saying?
1973, I think.
Unlike the Lakers, we get one at least. You know what I'm saying? And, we represent every decade. You know what I'm saying? At least once or twice. You know what I'm saying? We up in there. And now that we got rid of street clothes, we gotta start building with Luka. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say this seems great for y'all conversation. I love y'all chemistry, the audience, the viewers. We about to take a quick intermission, and y'all get comfortable because we coming back with part 2, and they're gonna continue. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed. I know they're hilarious, right? But yes, for you guys it'll be an intermission. There will be a part 2. It will be uploaded soon. So make sure you follow the pod or subscribe if you're on the YouTube, or if you're on the Spotify. Follow the pod and subscribe. Turn on your notifications because there will be a couple episodes coming out within the next week or so. For interviews, panels, ideas, questions, concerns, all information is in descriptions. Thank you so much. It's nice to be back, guys. And remember, everything you need is in your DNA.